I'm just saying, I really think that last girl we talked to would have gone out with me.
Chad, she's a hooker. She would go out with anyone with $50.
Can you loan me a 20?
No, Chad.
What do you mean no?
I mean, you should use your own money.
I haven't loved a woman in 20 years.
Chad, that's not my problem.
No, but it is. We're brothers.
We are brothers. You know what? I'll give you that.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you an update on the kidnapping of Haley Roderick, the 12-year-old.
Recruitment of ISIS personnel.
Riots continue in Birmingham after the shooting of 50.
After a drone strike against a high-level.
Der Rot. Non le sapete أشجع كاسن سيارات.
ربي اسندني حتى لا أرفع جنين ثانية مشان مرتي وعيالي.
꼭 매주마다 교회 나갑니다. Just let the Packers win the Super Bowl this year.
I
will be so grateful.
Please, don't let Daddy come home tonight.
Now, folks, there's something I want to talk to you about.
I was reading in the book of Malachi recently, and it says right here, will man rob God? But ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have I robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. Now, the reason that this spoke to me was because I know that times are tough, and some of you might be saying, I'm just not making as much. I'm having a very rough go of it. The good Lord will understand if I don't put anything in the plate this week, or perhaps if I put in something less. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. Remember the story of the old woman who goes into the temple and offers her last penny before God? Jesus said she was the most blessed. Remember, the good Lord gave you your life, your possessions, your beautiful family, and your wealth, no matter how small. You owe that tithing to the Lord. You owe it. And by not tithing, it's as if you are stealing directly from the collection plate. All he asks is that you return a portion of what he has blessed you with. Let us pray.
Just 12 more hours.
I really appreciate the help back there.
Looks like you didn't need any. Plus, it's not mine.
Sure, 19-year-old girl getting mauled by a strange guy in the back of an alley. Why should you care, right?
That's right. Leave me alone.
You could at least look at me when I talk to you.
All right. I'm looking at you. Do you want to grab a coffee?
So, this is your way of making it up to me for being such a dick?
Guess so.
You know it doesn't. That was pretty messed up. You don't treat people that way.
What way?
Like they don't matter.
There's a lot of people. You can't care about them all. You can't help them all.
That's pretty glib.
It's always been that way.
And how would you know?
Been around the block. A lot longer than you might expect. What would you do if you only had 11 hours left to live?
That's a weird question. Weirdly specific, too.
David, what would you do?
Shoot my dad.
Shoot your dad.
Yeah,
Why would you want to do something like that?
because he's an asshole. Worse than that guy back there.
What'd he do?
You know, get drunk and beat my mom. Blow our money on whatever drug he was into that week. So my brother and me wouldn't have food to eat. That type of thing.
Dads can be tough.
Yeah? What's yours like?
Tough, like I said. Pleases me to see you again, Gabriel.
Come bearing a task for you from your father.
What task is that?
You must go back down with the humans, bear witness to their downfall.
Their downfall.
Yes. Your father has decreed that you must walk amongst them for their final days, until the last day.
Their final days. What about my sacrifice?
They've chosen the wrong path. He gave them a lineage to choose a better one. No more. The end approaches.
Surely there must be something more we can do. We can't give up on them. Can't.
So, you use that as an excuse?
Excuse.
Yeah. Your dad's an asshole, and you don't have to treat people like they matter. Sound about right?
When you're around long enough to see how this world is, you learn it's just better to not get involved. But you can't fix it. Even if you try. Even if you tell people exactly what to do. Clear as can be. People are still gonna do what they do. No more, no less.
You're what, 30, 35? What the hell have you seen that makes you so pessimistic?
This. Just watch.
What the hell is this?
slaughtered. The world just in turmoil. I told myself it would get better. It didn't. You all right?
What the fuck was that?
I needed someone to see, so they'd understand.
You know, I get it. The world's messed up and you've seen a lot. So you're just gonna check out and pretend that everyone that's here don't matter? Well, I don't know who you think you are or what your problem is, but I know it takes a real chicken shit to pretend everything is meaningless just so you don't have to deal with the pain.
Where are you going?
To pick up my brother at the hospital.
So,
Cracked skull, 3 broken ribs. My father said he fell down the stairs again. Lying piece of shit.
maybe you should think about heading the opposite direction as someone like that.
I did once. About a year ago. And now my brother's in the hospital. Selfish. I can't do that anymore.
Come in, come in. No point in standing there once you're here. Hurry up, you don't have much time left, and you're not supposed to be here.
Might be enough time. It's relative after all.
I know all about time. I made it. And everything is relative to humans. That's their problem. Which, of course, is why you're here to talk, to advocate on their behalf.
That's right.
Of course it's right. Well, go ahead.
Come to ask you to spare them. As you have done before.
You know, I never really planned on life. Must sound strange to you, but I never did. I was much too concerned about gravity at the time. It was no easy feat getting that to work. And time, that was revolutionary. Before that, everything was constant, amorphous. But life, that was just something that happened. A trick of probability, which in itself was not an unimpressive accomplishment.
And so you sent me.
Of course. They needed some guidance, after all. I figured, hey, let's see how these things turn out. And here we are. They wreck one of the more beautiful planets I created, whilst inflicting immeasurable pain on each other. And you are here to ask me to spare them. Why?
What's this?
It's a new law I've been working on. It would allow for two universes which had arrived at the same reality to condense into one. No sense in having two of the same thing out there.
And how long have you been working on this?
1,600,715 years, 3 hours, 47 minutes, and 11 seconds.
And in all that time, how often did you walk amongst the humans?
Well, I don't. I see everything, no need to.
You look too big. You see them as if they were ants.
Don't see many humans crying about ants, do you? They kill millions of them at a time. Entire colonies, generation after generation of ants, wiped out in the blink of an eye. And they do it for much the same reason as I will. Because if you don't, they spread like a plague, or like a mushroom sending out spores, which is exactly what they're beginning to do, you know, riding their rockets out to find more worlds to repeat the same process.
Potentially.
Inevitably.
You aren't certain. You just admitted you didn't foresee life. You can't understand them. You have the most rudimentary grasp on how they work. You've never walked amongst them. You've never even so much as even spoken to one. And yet, you judge them as if their damnation's a foregone conclusion.
You know their history as well as I, an endless cycle of violence and ecological degradation. What good could come of them?
After you created the universe, it took 379,000 years just for atoms to form. It's too hot before. Hellish landscape that encapsulated the entirety of existence. But from that came atoms, suns, and galaxies. And you knew patience was needed for your creation to reach its potential. Yet you cannot give even 1/100th of that time to humans. The only sentient life of all creation, defying your expectations and your probability. And yet you wish to destroy them before even seeing what they might become? I've watched them. I've eaten with them. I've lived with them. And every day they do better. They learn the rules and the system you made, so they may pull themselves up from their animal beginnings. They move nations to help each other, and they do better with every passing generation. They have the opportunity to transcend, to become something even more incredible, something to enhance your creation, even beyond what you imagined. But we have to give them what they need for them to accomplish this. You have to give them what they need.
And what is it that they need?